All right. The good folks over at Lewitt has done it again. They have released another great product, which is called the Connect 2. It is a very portable audio interface that packs some powerful features. So let's go ahead and check it out right now.
Bolo!
All right, before we get started, if you guys need anything for your studio, make sure you guys go ahead and click my zZounds.com link in the description and get you something for your studio. They have a whole bunch of stuff on the site that requires no credit or background check, meaning all you have to do is order it, they'll ship it to you, and then you just make monthly installments on the equipment. All they just need is a credit or debit card hooked to the account so they can take the money out monthly. Now, it's not everything on the site, but it is a whole bunch of stuff on the site that you guys can go ahead and get right now with no credit or background check. So go ahead and click that zZounds.com link in the video description and get you some gear today. All right, you guys know how much I rock with analog cases because they make the best cases that will protect your musical gear. However, did you guys know that they make very dope stands as well? You need to check out their XTS stands. These things are crazy. They come in 2 different sizes and these things are made of premium steel. If you're someone like me who uses their MPC Live 2, or if you use like a Machine Plus or a Machine or like a SP404 or even like an iPad or smaller DJ gear, these stands are made for professional musicians just like you. And the good thing about it is you don't have to break the bank to get the stands. They're very inexpensive. So if you're a musician that is looking to get a professional grade stand, make sure you guys go ahead and click my analog cases link in the description and get you a stand today. All right, this is it. This is the whole shebang right here. All of this will run your whole system. Has all the buttons and everything on here, and you can control everything with just using this front interface right here. Now, like I said before, you can control everything by using the buttons that are right here on this top part of the interface. Now, if you look at the buttons on top of the interface, they have a mute function. They have a button that controls your microphone. They have a button that controls your high Z input or your instrument input. Another button that controls your speaker output. And they have one that controls your headphone output. And they have a monitoring button on here as well. So if you're like recording or if you're doing a live stream, you can either decide if you want to hear more of the computer audio or more of the microphone audio. So that kind of works out pretty dope. And they have a custom setup button that's actually very dope, and I'm gonna show you guys that in a second. And last, right here in the middle, they have a auto measuring button so you can get your signals and everything just right. Now, another thing I like about the Connect 2 is all your connections are in the back. Very clean setup. You don't have to worry about cords going all in the front and all that stuff like that. Everything connects in the back. Super clean. Now, in the back of this unit, they have a mic input. They have a high Z input for your guitars and all your instruments. You have speaker outputs as well. And they have 2 headphone jacks, one for your 1/4-inch headphone jacks and one for your 1/8-inch headphone jacks, just in case you lose your little piece for your, 1/4-inch input. We've all had that happen before. And of course, it has a USB-C output. And for all you guys who don't have laptops with the USB-C input, Lewitt was thinking about you guys. They went ahead and gave us a little adapter. So if you guys don't have it, at least you have this adapter to hook it up to your laptop. So yeah, this is a very dope audio interface, but let's go ahead and see how it sounds and see some of the features that comes with it. Okay, so we all know that Lewitt makes some very good microphones. And I'm pretty sure that this setup is tuned up for pretty much all the Lewitt microphones. But what I did today is I went and got me a Lawton Audio microphone, which is the Lawton Audio LS208. And I want to see how this thing can handle this Lawton Audio microphone, which this is it's not the best Lawton Audio microphone, but it is very good for like live streaming and everything. Has like a little bit of noise and stuff to it. And I want to see how this thing handles it. And as you guys can hear right now, I have it on the clean setup and it handles it very well. All right, so I actually did the auto setup on here. So let me show you guys the auto setup. It's very easy. So all you have to do is click on auto setup and you can either do one for your mic, your instrument, or for your mic and your instrument together. Right now, we're just gonna do it for the microphone. So we're just gonna click on that. It's gonna ask us, is it a condenser microphone or a dynamic microphone? We're gonna say, yes, it's a condenser microphone. So we need to turn the 48 volt on. Do you wanna apply a low cut or keep the low cut off. I'm going to apply a low cut to it. Now what it's going to do is going to test our sound. It's going to give us the best possible gain in everything for our microphone so that it's going to sound nice and good. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and talk in here for about 10 seconds. It's going to measure your vocals and it's going to give you the best gain. You're not going to be able to hear me, but I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so now it captured that, and as you guys can see, it's got me to a very decent volume, and it pretty much got me to where I was already at. So this thing actually has digital preamps built into it. They have a clean preamp, they have a warm preamp, and they have a vivid preamp. And as you guys can see, the clean is a raw vocal just going in. Then they have the warm, which is a smooth high end and a rich body. And then they have a open and lively, brightened up mic, which is a vivid preamp. And right now, I'm just going to go ahead and leave this on clean. And then it's going to ask us, do you want to use a compressor? And they have a built-in compressor here as well. And I'm just going to leave the compressor off for right now. And then any background noise, do we want to use the denoise on or denoise off? Which the denoise is basically a very intuitive gate that they have on here. I'm going to leave that off for right now. Then it's going to ask us for a clip guard. And clip guard basically means that it's going to guard your mic from clipping. And for right now, I'm going to turn that off. And it shows you everything that you have. It shows you the optimized settings for your mic, and you just press finish. And pretty much now everything is done. And as you guys can see, I have my mic input. Everything is sounding really good. Now you can actually add everything that you want to add on here as you go. So we have the clean preamp right now. Let's go ahead and use the warm preamp. So right now we're in the warm preamp, and as you guys can hear, it has a lot of body to it, and it sounds pretty cool. It's a little muffled to me, but it sounds pretty cool. So let's go ahead and try the vivid preamp. So we have the vivid preamp turned on right now, and it's kind of cool. It has a little bite to it. It sounds pretty cool. It's not bad. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that on for right now. So now let's go ahead and add a compressor. So we're gonna add a compressor to it. And now I have the compressor to it, and now it really has a lot of body to it. And I actually like how this compressor sounds. It's not bad at all. And along with the volume and everything, it sounds pretty decent. So I'm actually kind of cool with the compressor being on. Now, even though we have the clip guard on here, with this compressor on here, if I wanna talk really loud, it catches my vocals and it makes sure that it compresses the vocals. But if we take the compressor off and we talk really loud and we get really, really, really loud, now I'm not that loud to where you don't really hear me clipping because I really don't have like a really loud voice. But if you want to turn on this clip guard, it will safeguard you from clipping. So let's go ahead and turn this on real quick. And now that we have this clip guard on, if I talk really loud, it makes sure that it puts a little compressor on here, as you guys can see. If I talk really loud, a little compressor comes on here and it makes sure that it does not clip. So I have my clip guard turned on, but if I want to just add a compressor on here, I can just do that and turn this clip guard off. So let me turn it off real quick. And then now let me just turn on the compressor and it just does that for me. So I actually like the clip guard if you don't want to use a compressor, but if you already have a compressor on here, I don't think you're going to need the clip guard like that. Now, last but not least, we have the denoise on here. What we can do is we can add the denoise, especially if we have some loud stuff going on in my room. I think right now I have the AC turned on. You can kind of hear it, but it's not that much. But pretty much what the denoise is just a really dope gate that they have on here. Now, the only thing is you can't change the settings on here, but the gate is actually pretty dope. So if we turn the denoise on, what it's going to do is it's going to listen to our environment to hear what type of noise and stuff that's in here. And it's going to set a gate to where it's supposed to sound good. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now we have the denoise on. And as you guys can see, it's pretty much a gate. And it's a really good gate because I didn't really have that much noise in here, and it actually listened to the room and it set it pretty good. You don't really hear it biting like that. Like, you know, most gates you kind of really hear it biting, especially if it's not really that much sound and stuff in there. But they really set this thing up to where it sounds very good. Not bad at all. Now let's go ahead and talk about the custom button, which is actually very dope. With this unit, you can actually toggle on and off or toggle through certain parameters by just hitting the custom button. So to set that up, all you gotta do is go right to your settings, go right here to the custom button. And as you guys can see, I have the toggle mic preamp style. So I can go ahead and toggle through the different preamp styles with my custom button. So all I simply have to do is if I press my custom button, just watch this. If I press it, it can go to clean right here. It can go to warm, or it can go to vivid. Very dope. And all you have to do is just press that custom button. Now the custom button has other preamps that you guys can use as well. You can toggle through the instrument preamp styles, or you can toggle through the mute headphone, unmute speakers, unmute headphones, mute speakers, which that'll be very dope. So if you guys are like in a recording setup, you can use that. Then they have a mute headphone and microphone and unmute speakers, or unmute headphone and microphone and mute speakers, which of course, like I said before, you're recording yourself or whatever, and you don't want your mic or your headphones turned on to get all that feedback noise and all that stuff, you can use that custom button for that. You have another custom button to dim the output of everything. So if you just want to dim everything down, you can set that. You have a mono to stereo. So if you want to hear a mono signal, you can go ahead and set the custom button for that. And then you have a brightness setting to where you can set the custom button for your brightness setting on your actual unit with the buttons and all that stuff. So that's actually kind of cool too. Now, of course, they have other settings in here. They have a audio setup right here where they have a gain lock, an input playback mix applies to speakers, a high impedance headphone mode for, you guys who have high impedance headphones that need the extra juice, you can have that turned on. They have a high volume speaker mode on here, a mobile streaming mode on here, which is actually very dope, and a Mac OS streaming mode, which I actually have that turned on right now because my whole signal right now is going through OBS. And as you guys can hear, everything sounds very good. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this thing is very dope for a lot of you streamers because it's basically a click of one button and you'll be able to stream and have your audio sources and everything come through. So right now I'm on OBS, and if I want to play my audio for my system, I can go ahead and play it right now. So it's actually kind of cool that you have this monitoring button so you can actually toggle through if you want to hear more of the system audio or more of your audio through the microphone. This thing is actually kind of dope now, and it sounds good. And last but not least, they have the sample rate on here, which you guys can go ahead and change the sample rate on here. It can go all the way up to 96 kilohertz if you guys want to use that. I believe 44.148 is fine. You don't have to use too much more than that. And I think the bit rate goes up to 24 bits as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. But as you guys know, one of the things that I really like about this is you can actually use this with your iOS setup. So of course, if you're traveling or whatever like that and you have an iPad or whatever, you can definitely use this with your iOS setup. And I ain't gonna lie, this thing is actually kind of dope with the iPad. And of course, I'll probably do another video on that sometime in the future. But I've been using this with my iPad the past couple of days. And yeah, it's been pretty cool. So the Lewitt Connect 2, this thing actually sounds very good. You can use it. It is very simple to set up, as you guys can see. And the only thing that I do not like about it is I wish it had stereo inputs, because I would love to see how this would sound like if I could run my MPC and all that stuff through it. But it only has mono inputs. But hey, we can't get everything. You know what I'm saying? But if you guys want to go ahead and get this, I will leave a link in the description so you guys can go ahead and get this. I hope this video was informative. Hope you guys learned something from it. And like I always say, peace out.